我们首先敬礼
First,
传承祖师，
let's pay homage to the lineage gurus.
敬礼了明和尚，
Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming.
敬礼萨迦正空上师，
Homage to Master Sakya
敬
Zengkong.
礼16世大宝法王
Homage
卡玛
to
巴，
His Holiness the 16th Karmapa.
图登
And
达尔
homage to
吉上
Master
师。
Dubdan Dorji.
我们敬礼今天的护摩祖尊
And homage to the main deity of Homa
大天
today,
尊，
Golden Mother
敬礼
of the
坛城
primordial
三
Jit
宝，
Pan. And homage to the three jewels of the altar.
师母
Sumu,
图登悉地仁波切，
Tutan Siti Rinpoche,
各位上师、教授师、
all Dharma
法
masters,
师、
Dharma
讲
educators,
师
Dharma
助教
teachers, Dharma
堂主
instructors, Dharma
以及
assistants,
各位同门，
directors of temples
还
and
有网络
chapters,
上的同门。
and all disciples present here
今
and
天我
over
们
the
议会的
webcast,
贵宾是
and our participating VIPs today,
行政院驻瑞典办事处
for
廖
the
东
Taipei
洲大
reps
使
to
及夫人
Sweden,
吉
the
蒂师姐。
Ambassador Daniel Liao and Mrs. Liao, Dharma Sister Judy.
谢谢廖大使，因为他
Thank you
明
to
天他
Ambassador
就要
Liao,
回到瑞典。
and tomorrow he's going back to Sweden.
南投县县长林明
And
珍，
Mayor of the
先生
Nantou County,
民
Mr.
政
Lin,
处处长
and
吴
the
燕
District
玲女士，
Officer, Ms. Wu,
草屯镇驻区主任
and from the
张
Caotun
家
Town, the
敏先
neighborhood
生，
leader, Mr. Zhang,
宗教科专员
and the religious
张建国
commissioner, Mr. Zhang,
南投县立法委员马文金，服务
and
处
for
秘书
the
陈启昭
Nantou
先生，
County legislators, Marvin Jean's
南投
service
县议员
Department
简希胜
Secretary,
先
Mr.
生，秘书
Chen,
简俊生先生，
and also the Nantou County
台湾省
legislators,
政府
Mr.
秘书长
Jian
郑
Yiseng's
培福
secretaries,
先生
Mr.
及夫
Chen,
人韩
and
露
the,
珍女士。
from the Taiwan government's chief secretary, Mr. Zheng Peifu and
中
Mrs.
央
Zheng.
研究院院士朱世
From
义
Academia
教授及夫
Sinica,
人
the academian
陈
professor
国
Zhu
文女士。
Ziyi and Mrs. Zhu.
台南市议会蔡旺前议员代表，
And the representative to the legislator from Tainan City.
中国道教师汉天师府
And from
64
the
代
China
天师
Taoist
张
四天
道真教主，
Han Tian Fu,
总
the
干事
64th
陈树旺
patriarch,
先生，
Mr. Zhang,
林弘仪
and
道
the
长，
superintendent, Mr. Chen, and the Taoist master Lin.
嘉义县清宫总会六角
And
乡
from the
清
Jiayi
宫会长
County,
陈慧
the leader of the Young Workers Club, Miss
陈
Chen.
慧陈小姐。中山医院大
From the
学附
Zhongshan
设
Medical
医院
College
整形外科主任
affiliated plastic
郑
surgery
生龙
department, the
博士
head of the department, Dr. Zheng Shenlong.
那么在这里呢，很谢谢郑生龙
And
博
here
士
I would like to offer my deepest gratitude to
我的
Dr.
这个
Zheng Shenlong
左脚蜂窝性组织炎，
that the last
由他
time
来
my
主
left
治
leg
结果
suffered
完
from
全痊愈，谢
cellulitis,
谢他。
and through his care and treatment I recovered completely.
United States, Seattle, Orwell Hospital, family doctor, Dr. Gao, and Canada, Australia, the doctor, take care of my everything. 谢谢他们。
And from the Nantou County, the president of Ren'ai Zijia, Mr. Wu. And the scholars group and the medical groups of True Buddha School. And the law advisors to True Buddha Foundation, Ms. Zhou, Mr. Lu, Mr. Zhou, Mr. Luo, and Ms. Huang. And the general manager of Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang.
My university, same classmate, Mr.
and Mrs. Zhu. From the Army Surveyors Team lead, Mr. and Mrs. P. Thank you very much. 5208 survey team in the past. The leader then was Zhuang Mingsi, and the deputy leader was Wei Jingping. And the guide was Mr. P, Ziqing, and Mrs. P. From Indonesian's Tartan Culture President, Mr. Arjun Chen and Mrs. Chen. An entrepreneur from Hong Kong that took Kenneth Loy and Mrs. Latin and their daughter, Lei Chen. And that took from Malaysia, Mr. Li Haian and the Datin Li Qing and their daughter Li Qi. And from the North Sumatra of Indonesia, the council person Mr. Huang. And businessmen from Indonesia. Mr. and Mrs. Huang. Mr. and Mrs. Zhou. Mr. and Mrs. Luo. Mr. Wu. And a medical PhD, Mr. Zheng, and his wife, lawyer, Ms. Chen. President of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity, Master Tang Ren. And the director of the Taiwan Lotus Light Charity Society, Mr. Li Chunyang. Producers for the Geni Diansang Xinten from CTI-TV Taiwan, Ms. Rebecca Xiaqi. Producers for the Great Perfection Dharma Hevajra Exposition and Development Stages of Tantayana, Master Lian Yu. And the host, Dharma Sister Pei Jun.
My sister, Lu Shengmei 女士, Lu Guoyin 女士, and the husband, Li Hetong 先生. Ah, 现在要感谢 秦景凤师兄、张义妹师姐挡灾20万元，
Now we appreciate the following fellowship to donate money for our dinners and lunch. That's Chen Jinghong, Zhang Yuhui, and Mr. Wu. Okay. And Liqin Engineering Company, $100,000. Chen Changkun Dharma brother donate $100,000. And Lin Yuying Dharma sister donate $100,000. And Lianhua Qilin Dharma sister from Malaysia donated $100,000. And we also appreciated the following people by extending the bank bouquets. Mayor of Taoyuan, Mr. Zheng Wencan, and the legislator, Mr. Xu Zhijie. And Chu Buddha School Mingchi chapter from Malaysia, Master Loi Yuan. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. How do you do? We have so many disciples from many countries. Thank you for coming. Many people expected me to speak in their languages. But what time is it now? Almost 5. So let's skip it today. Today we had the Golden Mother Homa ceremony. And we are truly grateful to Golden Mother for her care for the past many years. When I was 26, Golden Mother opened my divine eye. Until now, from 26 until now, I'm 72 years old. For so many years, she continually stayed by me. She never abandoned me. And she's my lineage root guru. And she's also my root yidam. And moreover, she is my guide, the main guide, protector, yidam. That everything comes from Golden Mother. Without Golden Mother, there will not be true Buddha school. She is the origin of everything in True Buddha School, and we are truly grateful to Golden Mother. And at the same time, I offer gratitude to Golden Mother that at that time, when my left leg suffered from severe cellulitis, it's Golden Mother never abandoned me. I misunderstood her. She actually sent the Earth Mother, the Pulitipi, and many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to help me. And also all the doctors, like Dr. Zhen Sen Long. He was the key doctor in treating my leg, and also Dr. Gore from America, who asked me to check the blockage in my arteries and veins, and it turned out that they were completely fine. And also a doctor from Canada, Olivia. She also helped me a lot, and she instructed me how to take care of my leg. And she asked me to wear the compression socks to prevent the intrusion of germs. That by wearing these compression socks, we can prevent the infections. And we hope that my 2 legs will stay healthy forever. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for all your cares. And today, Grandmaster's body is very healthy and fine. Golden Mother is like my mother. So Golden Mother is like my own mother. And she takes care of me no matter what. And Golden Mother never abandoned Grandmaster. And she's also the first yidam that I gained spiritual union with. So, if we talk about Buddhism, Taoism, Christianity, strictly speaking, there are differentiation. So the teachings or the religion that's being taught by the Buddha was called the Buddhism, and Taoism is a traditional Chinese religion, and there are also many sub-schools of that. For example, the Zhengyi of Zhang Tiansi sect, Zhengyi sect, and the Longmen Fa sect. And as we know, inside the Shen Diao Xia Lü, that's called the Qian Zhen Jiao. Qiu Changchun 还是弟子，第一个这个创教的王重阳。邱长春就是邱长春 is 邱处机。这个很多的这个钱真妻子，钱真妻子，还有一个钱真妻子孙不儿。 The only lady is Sanpua. This is all inside the Shen Diao Xia Lü, which is the legend of the Condor Hero. The legend Qian Chen Jiao, and also Li San Dao Yan of Chen Jinggu. And Mao San Pai. They all belong to Taoism and Christianity. They are divided into more sects. Presbyterian, which is the same as the Li Denghui. And there's so many different Christianity school too. And Grandmaster is different from other people. And I still believe in Jesus until now. People would say that now you're a tantric Vajracharya, a tantric master, and also an ordained monk. How can you still believe in Jesus? Yes, I do believe in Jesus. Why? Because the words of Jesus were the same as the words of the Buddha. Jesus said that don't let your left hand knows what good things the right hand did. So this indicated the 8th spiritual ground of bodhisattvahood, which is that the 3 wheels are intrinsically empty. And Jesus also said that for the rich man to go to heavens is the same as the camel passing through the needle's eye. As we all know that the rich man would just enjoy their lives and they will not have any belief. That's why Jesus said for the rich man to go to heaven, it would be the same as the camel to pass through the needle's eye. And it's the same for the politicians. They have no time to practice. They are very busy. Every time they attend to Buddha school ceremonies, it's like just like touching on the soy sauce, because they need to attend to so many events that they go to all the temples. For the politician to go to heaven is also the same as the camel passing through the needle's eye. It's like that's quite common, but there are also very few politicians who are performing charities and also very diligent in their spiritual practice. So I believe in Jesus Christ because Jesus has a greater charity and endurance than anybody. So if someone slaps on your right cheek, you give the left cheek. That's endurance. If someone steals your jacket or coat, then what do? Then you also give them your underwear. So what's Jesus' words encompasses giving and endurance. So do you believe in Jesus? I do believe in Jesus, and also believe in Taoist teachings. At the Seattle Lichang Temple, every day I pay homage to Golden Mother and all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhamma protectors, every day after lunch and dinner. And one time, I did not pay homage for 3 days. Do you know why? Because the True Buddha Seattle Temple, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas left the temple. And you know what they were replaced by? They were all ghosts.
Only ghost.
Only ghosts. They were all ghosts. So that's why I didn't pay homage. I didn't prostrate for the first day, second day, and third day. But everybody else around me bowed. And I didn't for 3 days. And finally, you know what I used? I invoke Chūtian Yin Lei Sen San Dian Pu Pa Tian Zhen. So the God of thunder and lightning. So I formed the mudra for the 5 thunders and then strike the 5 thunders mudra to make all the ghosts to fly toward the spirit hall of Siddhigarbha of the Seattle Temple. And then I invoked all the deities to descend, and I use the mudra for the 9th syllable to purify, to invoke all the deities to descend. So I use the gods of thunders and lightnings and using the 5 thunder mudra, and that's the Taoist alchemy. So do I believe in Taoism? Yes, I do. So I highly revere Golden Mother. In the hagiography of the sages and the first sage that's mentioned there, the Ta Luo immortal, is Golden Mother. So Ta Luo Jinxian, the Ta Luo golden immortal, is the same as the Buddha. So I highly revered Taoism, and one time I was also a Taoist master. And in Buddhism, the most important is the wisdom of emptiness of the Tathagata, that his wisdom is like the space, like the sky. So Sakyamuni Buddha was the founder of Buddhism, and his teachings are worthy for us to study. And there are many tantric dharma teachings And by studying the Tantric Dharma, we are showered by the Buddha's blessing, and we can go to the pure Buddha lands. And that in this world, you can attain Buddhahood in this lifetime. And our ultimate goal would be every one of us will be able to attain Buddhahood and or Bodhisattvahood. So that's extremely great that our True Buddha School encompasses Christianity, Taoism, Buddhism. Any religion can be accepted into our True Buddha School. So this has a very tremendous meaning, because every Dharma gate has its own wonders. Although the Buddha comes from outside, it started in India and then spread to Southeast Asia and then to China and Tibet and the Middle Kingdom to Korea to Japan. That's the spread of Buddhism, and then it got to the Western countries and all over the world. And ultimately, in Grandmaster Lu's opinion, that Dharma teachings of Sakyamuni Buddha is as broad as the sky. And we revere Buddhism the most, and we have great affinity with Buddha Dharma, and we have affinity with the Buddha lands, and we have affinity with Buddhahood. And here I would like to wish that everyone, every single being can attain Buddhahood. And today, let's talk a little bit about Lamdre. Here, I would like to read the sutra of the Lamdre book. Also, the out-of-worldly path is also called the path of turning the wheel. The channels, seeds, and ambrosia are ceaselessly turning like a wheel. It is also called the path of accumulated verifications, where the external, internal, and ultimate experiential signs of the first to the 12.5 level are experienced clearly and solidly without falsehood. And although all sorts of improper mindsets may appear during this path, like the ocean waves waxing and waning, one will not fall into the 3 lower realms. So it is also called the path of futile advances and retreats. So what is the path of turning the wheel? It is turning inside our body, ceaselessly turning. Actually, in our body, it is there is circulation already, like the blood from the heart to the arteries to the veins and reach the capillaries all over the body, and then being retracted back to the heart and then being pumped out again. And it circulates naturally inside the body. And this is considered to be the path of the turning the wheel. So even today inside your body there are channels. As long as you take in the breath or the air, and the air or qi can circulate inside the channels, and the inner fire can circulate inside the channels, and the body chakra, the light drops, can circulate inside the channels inside your body. This kind of practice is called the path of turning the wheel. So this is not the 6 rebirth realms. It's not the wheel of the 6 rebirth realms of the heavens, Asura, humans, and the hell, Holy Ghosts, and the animal realms. So the path of the turning the wheel mentioned here is inside the body. That the qi circulates every day, the inner fire circulates every day. Every day the light drop circulates. So that's why it's called the path of turning the wheel. That's what it meant. So from the first to the 2.5 level, I experience clear and solid without falsehood. The external, internal, and ultimate experiential signs. So the external Dharma practice is about the spiritual union or yogic union. And what will happen after that is that your yidam will never abandon you. Then that would be called spiritual response or yogic union. I've said that before. Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, the heavenly beings are not easy to gain spiritual union with. Only one that's very easy to gain union with, that's always around you. That's ghost. It's easiest to gain spiritual response with the ghost. If you don't believe me, you just take the smoke offering vessels to the cemetery and you burn the smoke offering to all the ghosts, and the ghosts would follow you home, and then they would stay at your home. Then you are in union with the ghosts. It's fastest to gain union with the ghost. When the ghosts come, there would be chills. And the head would feel kind of numb. And you would feel chills. And sometimes you would move by itself. And you think that, oh, this kind of spiritual response happened really fast. And ghosts can become Golden Mother and Buddhas or Bodhisattvas. And you think that you have gained spiritual response or yogic union with Golden Mother or the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas. However, you need to recognize who they really are. You know that the fastest spiritual response is not necessarily the best. You need to be serious and diligent in your spiritual practice in order to gain spiritual response. You know, for the Zhao De Jingse, a chapter in Taiwan, it's very easy for them to give responses. Like with a few blessings, people would be able to move and jump. And you think, oh, I've gained some spiritual response, and now I've become a medium, that they could jump. So there's some similarities between being a medium than spiritual response. You need to know who has attached to you? Is that a ghost? I can also do that. Like I lift my hand and form the sword mudra. I can do it too. So what happened then? That there's a spirit coming into your body. Did my head move? We have to have the correct thought, to have the correct or the proper spirits or deities to come. But if your thoughts is false or not proper, then there would be the improper spirits that come. So, if you want to be quick, you need to ask, do you have the correct thoughts? So, if you have the correct or the proper thoughts, then what you gain union with is the correct or the proper spirits. Otherwise, if your thought is skewed, then the one that comes would be like the greedy ghost. So if you strive for spiritual union, which is proper in tantric practice, however, you need to have the proper or the correct thoughts, then you can gain spiritual response with the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dharma protectors, and divinities. However, if you gain some responses and you have some power, but you need to ask, are the deities the proper one, the correct one, or the false, or the skewed, or the evil ones? They are ghosts. So if you don't have the proper thoughts, then what you invoke or invited were ghosts and the evil spirits. So for tantric practitioners, you need to respect the guru, treasure the dharma, and practice diligently. And we need to abide by the precepts, the 5 basic precepts: not to kill, not to steal, not to lie, not to be infidel, and not to be intoxicated. And Buddhist practitioners have to eliminate the 3 poisons of greed, anger, and delusion. If you still ask for money, we have a Dharma brother by the name of Zheng Yaoqian, the true wanting money, not the fake wanting money. If you ask for money from people, then what you are connected with or what you are in union with are definitely not the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas or protectors or the heavenly beings. You are in union with the ghost. Remember this. So if you don't have the correct thoughts, then your spiritual union would be problematic. That's for the external Dharma practices. And for the inner Dharma practices, do you practice your qi channels and light drops? Without these practices, your body will not become robust. Then, when you attain the spiritual fruition of the first level of Bodhisattvahood, you would be happy all the time. You have no worries and no afflictions. And Grandmaster is always happy. No worries. Well, of course, when I was sick, I could be sad and shed tears. However, I had this thought, it's fine if I go. When you are sick, that your leg may be amputated in the future, you should still be happy. Why? Because what you gain is not your body, but the fruition of the Tathagata. So we should be happy about everything. We should always have a joyous heart, because the first level of bodhisattvahood is the ground of joy. What's the name of the first ground of bodhisattvahood? The ground of joy. And the last one is the ground of the Dharma cause. Dharma clouds is like the Buddha Dharma that you attain is as much as the clouds in the sky. Then you have reached the 10th ground. Then you would experience such signs that the Buddha Dharma that you have attained has filled the whole sky. That's the experiential sign of the 10th ground. And then the true suchness, what is that? That you have embodied the wisdom of the Tathagata, the Dharma flow of the Tathagata, that you have embodied the Dharma flow of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, that you can enter into meditation and let everything settled, emptied everything. And the Dharma flow of the Tathagata would enter into you to generate wisdom. And I just quieted myself just now. Then the Dhamma flow would fill my whole body. So what did you say the true words? Yes. I spoke truthfully. That's what your experience will be. So in this life, it's fine that I didn't waste my life in this lifetime. That in this lifetime, I truly experience those spiritual signs and I do attain fruitions. So Mrs. Wong loved to sing, but every time she practices, her husband would go to the deck and the wife asked, "Don't you like my singing?" And the husband replied, "No, I just want to let people know that I didn't beat you." So crying and wailing are different. Singing is singing and wailing is wailing. And Grandmaster too loves to sing. Anybody's birthday today? Anybody's birthday? Your birthday? Okay, let me sing you an Indonesian birthday song. Selamat ulang tahun kami ucapkan, selamat terpanjang umur kita akan doakan, selamat sejahtera sehat sentosa, selama panjang umur tanpa ajian. Grandmaster loves to sing too. Everybody is happy when singing, and you lessen your pressures, but you cannot shout. So what is singing and what is shouting? They are different. So what we study is the proper or the correct Dharma, the authentic and genuine Buddha Dharma. That's why that's the true Buddha school, the true Buddha Dharma. So we should not follow the deviant path, and they do exist. Let me give you an example. Let me empty myself and then invite a ghost to come to my body. Do you want to? You want me to do that? It's okay. Okay, he left. So when the ghosts came into us, they just shouted and cried. So I'm telling you truthfully, I'll get what I want. Although in our spiritual cultivation, that every practitioners may not be completely pure, we still have various thoughts. But in our spiritual cultivation, it's like waves that it waxing and waning, going up and down, and sometimes pure, and then sometimes they're distracted again. Everybody is like that. That for a while they're pure, and then for a while they got dirty again, and then pure, and then dirty again. But that's okay. So that's called the path of progress and digression. So our spiritual cultivation is like waves. The Buddha nature is the ocean, and human life are the waves, and in between we travel, we wander, and ultimately we return to the ocean. That the Buddha nature is the ocean, and human lives are the waves. But ultimately we return to the ocean. As long as you have that steadfastness and perseverance, you will return to the ocean. A man told the police, please help, put me in jail. I just beat the dog, but instead I hit the wife. And the police asked, did you kill him? See, that's what's bad. No, So that's why, please put me in jail. This is talking about a couple, and we hope that the 3 newlywed couples that just received the wedding blessings inside, I hope that they get along with each other really well, and they're always in love with each other, and would have perfect harmony in their families. And the husband and wife should not be like what Master Lien Miao said. And this is also homophones, that husband and wife can also be like mutually cheating. It should not be like that, but instead you should give way to each other, and you follow the wife, follow the husbands, and always be in love together. So we'll send our best wishes to them. It's the same in our Buddhist practices. It should be perfect, and the same with Buddhahood. The doctor said, go to that patient that's about to leave the hospital an injection of a tranquilizer, and the nurse asked, but he's about to leave the hospital, and the doctor replied, well, because when he sees the bill, I'm afraid that he may not be able to stand. Money is a very tempting. You know, as I said, money is too tempting. Everybody loves money, but please don't go overboard and don't be too forceful. You should only take what is yours and what's supposed to be yours, and otherwise you cannot take the money that don't belong to you. And for Buddhists, we should not threaten to get money, because if you do, then you breach the precepts. Then you don't have the proper thought. You don't have the correct thought. That's why you can threaten to get money. Grandmaster Lu never asked for money from anybody for his whole life. In my whole life, I never did, never do, never will. So please pay attention. If there are a master that threaten anyone to get money, what should we do? Let them be. Let they suffer from their own actions, because even the True Buddha Foundation cannot control them. Well, they can, but not much, so we just let them be. Of course, we expect that we don't have such cases in True Buddha School. We hope that True Buddha School is clean, that every master is clean. That's why our thoughts are very important. And sometimes you have absurd or improper thoughts. And as mentioned in Lamdre, that's the improper thoughts. There's a news that this afternoon in Kaohsiung City, there was a lady in rage holding knife entering into movie theater and was stopped by the police. And that lady said because the husband and the mistress were inside watching a movie, and she wanted to chop their heads off. And the police said that it's dark inside, why don't you wait at the door? The security guard and asked the movie person and put a note on the screen that there was a lady that's going to kill the husband and the mistress, so please exit from the back door. And then about 2/3 of the people left. So you don't watch movies with wives, but with your mistresses. That's the human world. You have so many improper thoughts inside. So spiritual cultivation is teaching you to gradually decrease your improper or absurd thoughts. Thoughts that's rising should be decreased. So whenever you have rising thoughts, they should be decreased one by one. And this is called spiritual cultivation. Whenever you don't have this running thoughts in your mind, then you would be able to enter into meditation. And once you can meditate, you will definitely have wisdom. And once you generate wisdom, then the greatest wisdom of the Tathagata, the wisdom of emptiness, will enter into your mind and your heart. And then you would be enlightened, and then you would be able to attain Buddhahood. Then you can transform your mundane body to become the sagely mind. Then your mind would change. Then your mind would be free from all running or improper thoughts. It would become sacred, holy and grand, like the Tathagata, filled with the Buddha nature, and you have attained fruition. So that's what this excerpt meant. Om Mani Padme Hum.